Hey guys, how you doing? Austin here with another update video as well as stock prediction video related to one of my favorite companies, Chinese EV manufacturer Xpeng, and we're going to be talking about some very interesting piece of information related to them having to do with their software and how they're going to continue to leverage and get more money out of their software, and some expansion plans that they have in place to expand charging stations, as well as kind of overall kind of market opportunity, what I think these guys are going to continue to do in the next 12 months. Stock is currently trading at around $33 as of the recording of this video. So I think it's going to go up to north of $50+ in the next 12 months, as long as we have, kind of good times with the overall markets, etc. But yeah, I think it's absolutely got an opportunity to go up by at least 35 to 40%. So if you're not currently an Xpeng shareholder, you might want to consider that. Of course, put it through your own technical and fundamental due diligence. But I'm a fan. I definitely think that this is a good company. It's a company just like Li and NIO that there's going to continue to benefit from just the Chinese government helping the overall EV marketplace, the green marketplace, as well as helping individual companies like the government's doing with NIO. And I think that some things are coming with Li and Xpeng to help them, that the government's going to help those companies as well. As always, I've always got my little buddy here. Here he is right there. I moved him, so he's right there. So anyway, my little bobblehead just hanging out with me. So yeah, so with that said, as always, this video is for entertainment purposes only. And please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. I'm here for you every day, bringing you videos like this, where I'm keeping you constantly updated on new stocks or existing stocks, or what's going on with hot stocks, all that kind of thing. I'm here for you every day in the trenches, just constantly. You'd be amazed at how much I read and how much I'm doing every single day, looking for new info and new information to bring to you related to stocks. Drop a like on this video, please, if you get value out of it. I'm here. I'm working for you every day. Hopefully you enjoy this video, you get value out of it. Here we go. Let's talk about what's going on with Xpeng and some new news that I found for you related to them. So as I mentioned, stock is currently trading at around $33.26 right now. If you kind of look at a 3-month chart, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the chart, but you can see that, let's see, they've hit a high right here around 56 back on January 22nd. And you can kind of see this is right here, kind of your what I'm calling the red days on the red times. I don't know. I think of like Game of Thrones. If you're Game of Thrones, like the red wedding, kind of the blood times. That's what I think of this time right here. It's where the Nasdaq was doing its thing, and as like with almost every other stock on the planet, Xpeng, really kind of bottomed at 26.92 on around March 8th, but you can see that it's bounced up pretty nice, and we're trading right now kind of in this 34, 35 range, and currently in the 33 range. So it could be potentially an opportunity if you're a long-term holder, buyer and holder like I am. I tend to want to hold these stocks. I think that this market and this overall opportunity is massive, and I think that this could be a north of 50+ or 60+ stock within 12 months. Okay, so with that said, let me show you what the piece of information I've got for you is. Xpeng stock is due for a sharp bounce to the upside from here. Okay, they're making pretty significant investments that are going to pay off in the long term for the XP. I'm going to call it Xpeng, for the Xpeng stock, right? Okay, so if you're follower, again, I remember I own Xpeng, so I'm just telling you that, right? If you follow Xpeng stock, you know that last year we hit a peak of 74.49. And we've kind of hit that downtrend. We bottomed in that March 5th, March 8th timeframe. We just talked about that $25 range, give or take. We're trading around 33, 34 right now. So that's kind of an overall state of the union. I think that all of the Chinese EV stocks are kind of in this kind of no man's land right now. They're not really doing anything right now. Apologize, got an itch. But I think that they're all poised to continue to go up in the long term. Okay, so Xpeng has two factors that are in play that will lead the stock's next direction. Okay, one is that its Q4 earnings report and guidance are positive, and guidance are positive. Okay, another is that its second half technology software launch date will test the most patient investor, i.e., I'm looking at that a different way. There's a lot of information here later about this software and how it's going to improve their margins, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get into that. Okay, so again, closer look at kind of what's going on. If you're not familiar, I'm sure you did. You are. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we're just going to real quick look at this. In the fourth quarter, they posted a 302 increase in vehicle deliveries to 12,964. Importantly, P7 deliveries topped 8,500 units plus, up 37% from last year. Nearly all P7 models delivered 95% support Xpilot 2.5 or Xpilot 3.0. Their software, based on our new generations of Xpilot, we're definitely going to increase the pricing for different configurations. So what I like about that, said this company's CEO, is that they are tweaking and changing the pricing configurations for different software configurations for their various cars, right? i.e. more margin dollars depending upon what the customer is wanting their software configuration to be for that particular Xpeng car they're going to buy. That's really what it's saying. Okay. The executive did not commit to a subscription model or a one-off payment. The former would give Xpeng a steady, predictable cash flow. Wouldn't it be nice if they moved to a subscription model? Sure, right? And I think a lot of their buyers would pay for that. That could be something that's coming in the future. Okay. All right. Average selling price is going to increase with availability of these newest software technologies. Again, I've already just mentioned that. Okay, so the average selling price is going to go up depending upon which configuration they're going to be buying. Okay. Xpilot 3.0 is more than 20% of the entire P7 line of activation. In January, Xpeng demonstrated it has an inexpensive and efficient way to deliver software upgrades when it introduced the new version for customers remotely. So again, they've got that figured out, that software upgrade remotely, updating it, etc. Okay. In the fourth quarter, the company expects to introduce Xpilot 3.5 version of it to its model since it may charge its willing customers for the software update. Expect profit margins to increase. Okay, therein lies kind of one of the heart of the point of this video, is that remember their guidance for profitability, revenue all looked good. Q4. We're going to get into there's a few final thoughts around their margin structure in a minute. We're going to talk about that. But what Xpeng is doing is compare, and I look at Xpeng, Lee, and Neo News all the time, guys. And right here, this is a interesting point that they're bringing out related to Xpeng, is that they're making significant investments in their software, and their software is a profit center for them, right? And moving forward and charging these people for their customers for the updates, moving to the next version, etc. Okay. So here's where they're going to make some investments. Xpeng's plans to increase headcounts for research and development will weigh on costs in the near term. So their cost could be higher because they're going out and hiring and buying people, buying talent to continue to innovate and innovate their technology, their software, etc. Right? So this necessary investment will widen Xpeng's technology innovation lead over its peers, Lee, Neo. Okay. Profit margins will only expand and exceed costs as unit sales increase, of course. The company needs higher rates of demand in 21 and 22. With each sale, the rising average sales price will more than pay for the cost of the increased staff. Okay, remember they're talking about, going back earlier, they're talking about because of their different configurations for their software, not to mention what they're doing with that given model, etc., that they can start to charge more for these different software configured vehicles that they're selling in the future, 21, 22, etc. Okay, and by the way, those additional higher margined units being sold is going to help to exceed costs, etc. A little bearish news: battery shortages are an ongoing risk to the company's supply chain. Xpeng expects an increase in battery supply will ease the bottleneck by the second quarter of 2021. Good news a little bit there. Okay, so furthermore, it's working closely with its battery suppliers to get the new lithium iron phosphate battery in the updated P7 and G3 models. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, here's the overall opportunity. Okay, in Q4, gross margin improved to 7.4%, up from a negative 6.6 year over year. Vehicle margin improved too, thanks to a better product mix. Their margins are a little bit, if you're looking at kind of margin structures, it would seem that Li and Neo have a little bit better margin structures, and Xpeng is making moves to do that. Not saying anything bad about Xpeng. I'm just saying that that's kind of what I read into that. Okay, so material costs have fallen and manufacturing efficiencies have increased. So Xpeng will continue to benefit from lower costs, and margins are set to rise to the low double-digit percentage. So their margins are continue to go up. Okay, they are making investments in supercharging station installations. Say that really fast. Supercharging station installations. Wow. So it's going to add a little bit to short-term costs, just FYI. But here's an interesting number. At the end of last year, 2020, there were 159 Xpeng branded supercharging stations across 54 cities. It's going to grow that to 5,000 by the end of 2021. So they're doing a significant investment in these regional supercharging station installations. I got it right then. Okay. All right. So if you care, you can or not. However you feel about analysts, they are saying that the average stock price target for Xpeng is going to be 51, 53. I think it's a $50 to $60 stock in this scenario. Kind of agree with the analyst. I think that overall they've got a pretty significant opportunity. Okay, so as you guys know, the EV bubble popped thanks to a 10-year bond yield shaking the technology index. Xpeng is a long way from its analyst price target. Again, this is not something, I think it's a 12 month. It's a 12-month play. So management's got to execute. Okay, they really, really do. So a few final thoughts, and I'm going to keep it really quick. Okay, I think that Xpeng, along with Li, Neo, are all going to continue to go up. I think the stocks will continue to rise. I think that this is a 40+% growth opportunity. I think that there's that much more additional, movement up in the stock from the $33-ish to the $50+ range. I think it's a given. I think it's a long-term play. I think it's 12 months. It's going to be a little bit volatile. It's going to be a little volatile. These EV stocks absolutely are. They react to obviously the major markets moving up and moving down, which is positive, and of course negative when we have red days. And so I think my advice, if you, again, do your own due diligence, but my advice is take a bullish position. I think that I'm in all three of these Chinese EV stocks, Li, Neo, Xpeng, all three of them. I think that they're all three opportunities for different reasons, okay? But I think that they all are going to benefit from continued Chinese government help, both blatant and not blatant, meaning, public seen and not seen. I think that the Chinese government obviously is massively going in the green direction. They have to. They have such a massive population. They have to make moves to do more for their environment, etc. So they're going to continue to make massive investments. I think that all three stocks will benefit from Chinese government help, and all three stocks are good for their own reason. I'm a huge fan of Xpeng. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm here every single day for you. Again, subscribe, hit the like button if you got value out of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Name's Austin, and I'm here for you every day. Bye.